Hey, we're in the Ballantyne area of Richland County at the home of Joe Monroe, and we've got his son Glennon here. Both of them are with Columbia Meats, and we've been doing some smoking this morning. We've got all the neighbors hungry. I think that even the dogs in the neighborhood and the neighbors have all been gathering at the gate. But right now we've got a Boston butt on the grill. Joe, tell us a little bit about a Boston butt. Now, actually, that's not the butt end of the animal. Is that correct?
No, it's the it's part of the front shoulder of the pig, and it's got a lot of muscle and sinew inside the piece of meat, and you use this as for pulled pork barbecue, that type of thing. I like it. Some people cook the whole shoulder, but it's very, very easy piece of meat to cook. You really won't mess it up if you got the temperature right and leave it on there long enough time.
And the secret to pork shoulder like this, or Boston butt, is low and slow. Is that correct?
Correct. You want to cook this, I'm cooking it on Big Green Egg. It's I'd get it about 225 to 250, and I'll cook that until it reaches an internal temperature of 160 degrees. I'll have an external temperature probe that I'll monitor it. Once it gets to that, some people just go ahead and leave it on and power it through, and it may take, this is about a 9-pound butt, it may take 10 or 12 hours, but I usually wrap mine at 160 in aluminum foil, put it back on the grill, and once it gets to 195 to 200, it's done.
Can you actually over smoke a piece of meat?
No, you really can't, because once you smoke it, you know, you put, we use natural hardwood coals for this, and then apple wood or cherry wood or some kind of fruit wood. It'll only smoke for about the first 2 hours, and that's all the smoke that's going to get into the meat. After that, you know, that's what gives you the smoke ring that goes down about a quarter of an inch. If you open this up, you know, and pull it, you see that 1/4 inch smoke ring, you know you've done the job.
And that's where you get your flavor out of that smoke ring, and the kind of woods that you put in there, like the peach or the cherry or the apple wood. Now when we're saying pulled pork, actually it gets to the point where it's just pulling apart easily with your fingers, correct?
Absolutely. I just put on some industrial gloves and just pull it apart after it sits for about 15 or 20 minutes.
I got you. And you can add sauce or not. It's pretty good without sauce on it.
I like it both ways. I haven't found a way I don't like it. But my wife, Marcia, she likes it without the sauce, so we don't sauce it. You know, we have different sauces for people to put on, whether it's the tomato base or the mustard or vinegar. It's to each preference. That's the great thing about Boston butt. You can make it to your preference.
You know, a lot of times folks just get tired of the same old during the holiday season. This is great for parties. I went to a wedding last Saturday. My nephew, Alex Kirby, was married, and one of the neatest things they had there was a big Boston butt, a pulled pork station where they had some little buns. They had different kinds of sauce.
Like sliders.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they had pulled pork there. You could stop by there. They had that, and then they had a macaroni and cheese bar and things like that. It was real nice. It was not so formal, and people really enjoyed it. It wasn't dainty little foods, but they actually got something that they enjoyed.
Sure.
And you can get these at Columbia Meats by the airport across the street from the old Skyline Club. We'll put the phone number so you can call ahead and get the size that you need. And they do come in different sizes, correct?
Most of our butts are 7 to 9 pounds. They come 2 to the pack, so you'd get, you know, 15 to 19 pounds of Boston butt. They're bone in, and that's the great thing. After you cook this, the bone, you just pull it out. It just slides right out. If you have to work on it, put it back on the grill.
I got you. That's Columbia Meats, and they've got everything you need, from fresh, never frozen turkeys and chickens to seafood, steaks, and these Boston butts, and whole hogs as well. If you're into doing a whole hog, that's a skill in itself. But there's nothing more beautiful when you take it off to see that golden skin on a whole hog that somebody that knows what they're doing done right. You You can get those there. I was interested to know that you can even get goat at Columbia Meats. I have some friends that are Indian, and they were excited to hear that you could buy goat there as well.
We've pretty much cornered the goat market in Columbia and Lexington.
And folks of different heritages enjoy that, and I've tasted it before and enjoyed it. So Columbia Meats is the place to go, and Joe's the man to talk to if you need some tips on cooking. He's got his big green egg fired up, and he knows how to help you get what you want cooked in the right manner and the right time. Joe, I appreciate you having us out.
Absolutely, Paul. It's great. It's been fun.
Yeah, we've had a good time. This is Paul Kirby for the Southwest Lexington Ledger.